And this is Eric Swalwell, the all-American boy representing you. He's just the congressman next door. So this is Eric Swalwell, an all-American suburban clean-cut guy. I'd like to show you two before I move on. If you haven't already seen the video on Artemis, you too can buy a timeshare. But let's get back to Swalwell. This is the kind of guy that you'd expect to, I don't know, borrow your lawnmower, not briefings from a House Intelligence Committee. So let's laugh at this one. This is a congresswoman from California who wasn't even born here, a rising Democratic star who ran for president and dropped out before the voting even began, a member of one of the most sensitive committees in Congress, who had contact with a suspected foreign intelligence operative. And now there's been speculation about higher office. So the question is, who exactly is Eric? Let's take a look. Eric was born in 1980 in Sac City, Iowa. Yes, Iowa, not California. He later moved with his family to Dublin, California, where he grew up. His father, apparently a police chief. Public service was part of the family brand early on. He attended the University of Maryland on the East Coast, then transferred to California State University, East Bay, before earning a law degree from Chapman University. So, eventually, he's a Californian, just not originally. Swalwell's political career accelerated very fast. If you're one of the chosen, you get pushed ahead. In 2012, at just 31 years old, he defeated longtime incumbent Pete Stark in the Democrat primary. This wasn't just a win. I'll give you some pictures there. This was literally a political upset. He entered Congress as part of a younger, media-savvy generation of lawmakers. Eventually, he landed a seat on the powerful House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, which is where things really started to get shifty. We've all heard about Fang Fang. I don't know whether or not the story's true, but there's enough of an allegation there. In 2020, reports surfaced involving a Chinese national named Christine Fang. Again, allegedly, I don't know. Also, she became known as Fang Fang. According to multiple outlets, including reporting tied to U.S. intelligence officials, she was suspected of engaging in political influence operation via a honeypot methodology. The key facts that AI would like you to know is Fang participated in fundraising activities. This is very similar to what we saw with, allegedly, Karen Bass in Los Angeles and the Chinese influence, fundraising, and campaign manipulation. She had social networking contact with Swalwell, and the FBI briefed Swalwell according to their concerns. Important clarification, though. There's been no public evidence that Swalwell was accused of wrongdoing or even espionage. He was just naive. After being briefed, Swalwell reportedly cut off contact. But still, the story raised serious concerns about national security questions about how foreign influence can operate. Because nothing says routine political networking like counterintelligence briefing. Now, presidential run. In 2019, Swalwell launched a campaign for president of the United States. Yes, to be your president. Positioned himself as a new generation leader, focusing on issues like gun control and student debt. But the campaign struggled to gain traction. One debate challenging Joe Biden went viral. But it still wasn't enough to sustain the momentum. He dropped out of the race just a few months later. From presidential hopeful back to Congress before the first votes were even cast. Well, we got to say that's at least efficient. Look back through memory lane. Despite controversies and national headlines, Swalwell remains a sitting member of Congress. He continues to serve California's 14th district, although he doesn't live here. Over time, his committee assignments have shifted, including removal from the Intelligence Committee in 2023 by House leadership. That would be interesting to know why. But he still remains active in 3 other committees: the judiciary-related discussions, media appearances, and party messaging. In other words, he's still very much in the game. California political future. There's been a periodic speculation about higher office, including potential statewide runs. California politics is desperately suffering right now, and it's highly competitive. While there's no confirmed successful gubernatorial campaign by Swalwell, he remains part of the broader bench of Democratic politicians in the state, is what AI is telling me as of this morning. However, we do know that a number of people ahead of him, including this one coming down the stairs, has decided to give him the boot and get him out of the race, which interesting. And I wanted to pull this up for you. If you didn't see my video on TerraFab, that was pretty interesting as well. Let me see if I can pull the California poll, because it actually shows, let's see here. We'll have to read later what's going on with the Republicans, and the poll did not drastically come up. We do have just a few days ago, guess about a month ago, Swalwell takes the lead in the governor primary, 25% undecided, elected for. So anyways, he took the lead, and then all of a sudden, here we go. This is the, they could come out. I don't know, Bernie Sanders, do you want to comment on that? California ambition is never in short supply, but this in itself seems odd. So here we have California, a Midwest-born politician who built a career in California. And you've got to remember that although he's not the right fit, apparently, according to the Democrats, for governor of California, because of allegations that they've surfaced and circulated, he still represents you if you're a U.S. citizen. Nobody's saying he needs to step down from Congress. Don't you think that's kind of odd? Well, fast rise to Congress with access to sensitive intelligence. He was a naive target, a presidential run that fizzled, and a controversy that ended his career. Well, at least in California. Supporters, he's modern, media, and tech-savvy Democrat. To critics, he represents everything wrong with Washington and everything wrong with California. Either way, Eric Swalwell is still here. He still represents you in Congress and in politics. And that might be the most important fact of all. This is Eric Swalwell. Have a great day. Oh, don't forget to check out the California video that was also posted, Leaving California.